Hi guys, Allie. Welcome to my channel. One of these days I'll get used to this. So this is my Q&A video. First one is, when did you first go on Pointe? So I was 14, 15. It was in 2002. It's been a while. At least as far as I can remember. I actually have a really bad memory, and I don't tend to remember a lot of things really well unless I have video or picture evidence. Back then we didn't really have social media and we didn't carry cameras around all the time, so a lot of my older memories I don't have much of unless someone got it on film. Pointe wasn't a huge deal to me or to my mom or anything when I got put on Pointe, so that wasn't something we documented. I just vaguely know because that was my first recital that we have on tape. I have a whole video that I will link below that is my ballet story, talks about all of that, so that if you're interested you can go watch that if you haven't already. And another person asked on to that question, and your first experiences of going on Pointe, was it scary, exciting, painful? Again, I don't really remember. But the one thing I really remember, now I don't remember what my first Pointe shoes were, but I remember my teacher was very strict about wanting us to use lamb's wool, and not lamb's wool pads, just straight up lamb's wool. No gel pads, no nothing else. But I used to get so many ingrown toenails from Pointe, and I also don't think I was fit appropriately, and my feet were not strong and flexible. I mean, I had strong ankles, but I didn't have strong feet and flexible feet, so I still wasn't getting over the box. It was still more of a, my pictures from back then are pretty bad. I don't remember it being scary other than pirouettes. I still to this day am I have that mental block of pirouettes. I'm getting better with it, but that's still a struggle for me. But other than that, I don't remember much. I do remember it being painful, but then the second I finally got gel pads and had better padding, I haven't had issues. Have you ever worn Russian points? I do. And now I have tried 4 different types of Russian points, and I do really like them. The Encores are my favorite, but they are a little too tapered. And I had the Rubens as well, but because the Rubens are sewn together on the back, I didn't like them as much because they're hard to 3/4, and I have to 3/4 Russian points because they're too strong otherwise. So then I tried the Luminas, didn't really like them. I think they just didn't fit me well, but I think the box was just too big on those. So then recently I've tried the Bravas, and I like them, but they're the heel comes up super high on those, so they're super gappy, and I need to, I think, just try and reinforce with extra elastic or something to keep them on my heels for now. Because other than that, the shoe fits great and it balances well. I do like them. I have about 4 different brands that I switch between right now. It's Russian Pointe, Gainer, Scapezio, and Block. Just kind of depends on what I need the shoe to do, but I still haven't found that perfect shoe. I'm waiting for Gainer to release that 3.5 box that they've kind of hinted at, maybe. So, what is your biggest tip for getting the splits? Stretching. Stretching. That's all I could say. I am one of those people who fortunately has always had a little more flexibility, so even when I don't stretch, I still have my splits. For the most part. Sometimes they're a little rough, but they're still there even if I don't stretch, so I haven't had to worry about getting them because I've really had them since I was little, other than middle splits. Those kind of come and go. I would say stretching is the biggest one, and not sitting in a stretch forever because that's really not good for you. I'm guilty of it sometimes. Doing a stretch here, stretch the other side, stretch some other things, switching it up and not just sitting in one split the whole time. And yeah, so just stretching. There's a lot of exercises on YouTube to help with that. Let's see here. Do you think your balance has improved since you started ballet? Absolutely. So I've even noticed a big change in my ankle stability since I started doing Pointe again the past 3 years. Before that, not that I had weak ankles, but I've never twisted an ankle or broken an ankle. But if I would run up or down the stairs too fast, my ankle would give out, either one of them could, and it would be super painful and scary. That hasn't happened to me since I restarted doing ballet and Pointe. So I think it has definitely improved my ankle stability, which then has also improved my balance. But yes. Let's see. Which are your favorite or more comfortable pair of Pointe shoes you own? Also, why do you have so many Pointe shoes? I have a whole video on that. I also just love to buy Pointe shoes, and that's kind of one of my pleasures in life. Everybody has their thing that they're obsessed with. My dad collects trains. I have a friend who collects makeup, another friend who collects high-end designer shoes. Like, everybody has their thing. But I also like the science of why pointe shoes work for some people and how they're made and formed and how they work for all different types of feet. Like, that fascinates me. So I love trying different shoes just to see the difference and what it is. Like, I noticed on Capezios, I love my Avas, other than the fact that that's what's caused me to split my toenail because the box is too broad and I can't find another one that's like that, another shoe that's like that. So I decided to try the Donatella, which has a completely different bottom and it's kind of like angled, so I fall right off of that shoe. I can't, it's not a flat platform, it's kind of like a rolled on platform. I don't know how to explain it without showing you, but it's in one of my videos. Those kind of things are really interesting to me. And a lot of times I do get pointe shoes like discounted off of eBay and stuff because I know my size and that brand and the shoes, and that tends to work for me. I just kind of like, I like to experiment. I have found so many different shoes that I love for different reasons. And you can watch my pointe shoe videos. I'm not gonna go into detail because that would make this video way too long. The most comfortable I think though are my gainers, which would be the 3 box because they fit my toes well. The 4 box I sink in and they hurt. But gainers for sure, like standing flat in them, everything is so comfortable. Top 5 tips for balance. Your tips for getting your body ready to go on pointe and tips for getting the splits. I don't know that I have the best tips for all of these because I'm still working on a lot of these things. Splits I kind of already talked about. Getting your body ready to go on pointe, I would say TheraBand exercises, releves, getting your feet to articulate really well, like doing exercises like the towel scrunching one where you scrunch it with your toes. There's a book called, oh shoot, I can't see it, it's sitting on my bookshelf. The Perfect Pointe book, I think is what it's called. Actually, let me go grab that for you so that I can show you. This book is fantastic. It's not a cheap book, but it has lots of great exercises in it for all different things. Turnout muscles, I need to work on that one. I need to go back to this book. So now that it's out, I'm gonna leave it out and make myself do this, but it is by Lisa A. Howell. So it's a really, really good book. I have heard nothing but good things about it, and that's what everyone has recommended to me, especially for pointe work. I need to do it more. So that's a good one. And tips for balance. I'm still working on that one. My mom always used to try and give me tips. She used to be a ballerina. She used to try and tell me, especially for turns and things, to imagine a string pulling straight up out of the top to pull you up, right? And so you're not sinking in things, and so you're pulling your body up. I have not been able to get that image quite right. I had another teacher who explained to me things like for posture, which helps with balance, you want to imagine that your belly button is touching your rib cage, or touching your spine. She had me do that. I was like, instead of arching my back, which was throwing my balance off, that like really helped. If anybody else has better tips, leave them in the comments because I would love to know them too. Let's see, but I will say the other thing I learned from someone else too, or I think I heard someone else say it, is practice obviously, but they said, you know, you may at first get every 1 out of 10 on pirouettes, balances, things like that, but the more you do it, then that 1 out of 10 becomes 3 out of 10, becomes 5 out of 10, and you get better and better. They say it takes like 10,000 hours to become perfect or a professional or a master at something. If we want to get there, we gotta practice. Let's see here. Are you trying to make dance a career, maybe become a rockette? I wish. I am too short to be a rockette ever, which has always made me very, very sad because I would love to. I got the short genes in the family. All my siblings and my mom are taller than me. I'm 5'2". You have to be, I want to say it's 5'6" to be a rockette. So I don't meet that at all. My friend Brittany Lewis, Broadway Brie 2018 is her Instagram handle. She has auditioned for the Rockettes multiple times and actually has gone to 2 maybe now of their summer intensives. She's amazing, and I wanted to go try out with her just to do it, but I was like, all right, let me in the door, I'm too short. I also don't have the time with a full-time job and the technique to do any of this professionally. I wish I could. I wish there was more of an advanced adult program around that would allow me to at least do performances and things, but there just isn't really here. What's next? Tips on how to get on pointe fast. Again, I'm gonna go say this book. Some ballerinas are self-conscious about their body. Do you feel that way? Absolutely, all the time. There is always something that I am nitpicking about myself. I don't have ballerina feet. I never will. As much as I try and stretch them and flex them and strengthen them, it's biological. I don't have the feet for it. Maybe if I had done it back when I was like 10, but starting now at almost 30 years old, it's not gonna happen. But they are much better than they used to be. I don't have long legs. That's not something I can ever change. If I could change one thing about myself, it probably would be to make my legs just a little bit longer because they're super short. And I just, you know, like not that I'm a big person, but I have a bigger butt. I have a stomach, I have thighs, things that a ballerina is not supposed to have. My friends make fun of me because they do squats to get a butt and I'm like, I don't want a butt, I want to get rid of the butt. I guess that's kind of opposite of what people normally want, but we all have something that we don't like about ourselves. We all think the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not, because everybody is made the way they are on purpose. You gotta embrace how you are, and that's all you can do. You can make some changes, but you're never gonna be fully happy with those unless you love yourself and love yourself as you are. That's something I still need to learn too, but so everybody deals with it, but you just gotta go with it. So let's see here. Any stretches that you recommend? Okay, one of my favorites, and I posted it on Instagram. I will try and figure out how to put the picture in here if I can. So that stretch helps, gravity helps bring your legs down and helps stretch them in a split. That is one that I am guilty of staying in too long, because I'll get distracted by reading a book or watching TV or something. My roommate actually made fun of me because one time I fell asleep like that, and she's like, you're kidding me, that is not comfortable enough to fall asleep in, but it's for me. That's one stretch, but also doing the like seal stretch where you like lay on your stomach and push your arms against the floor and your back up to an arch is really good for back flexibility, and even better if you can lift your arms up and hold your back up. That's really good too. Let's see. When did you start ballet and tips for beginners? Again, you can watch my other video about my ballet history. I started when I was about 3 in like toddler little ballet classes. Actually, those performances are on YouTube too. If you go look, they're there. Yeah, they're there. I don't know if I should have told everybody that, but there's a whole video on all of that, so I'll let you watch that if you want, because otherwise this video is going to be way too long. Tips for beginners is going to be stretching, working on your technique. You know, as much as you want to get to pointe, and I'm guilty of this too, there is nothing wrong with focusing on the basic technique, getting a really, really good, clean tendus and rond de jambes and frappes, and working on petit allegro jumps to get them more and more clean, and all those things are going to make your ballet that much better when you do get to pointe. Taking corrections down in like a notebook. I started doing that with a ballet journal, and keeping corrections that your teachers give you so that you can look back and see what you have corrected, what's been a consistent correction, things like that. If you can, filming yourself helps a lot because it gives you an idea of what you look like, because sometimes we think we look fantastic and then we watch the video and we're like, So if you can, even if it's at home, that helps. Like even if you're just filming yourself doing like a port-a-bras. Tips for balancing, again, I already talked about that one, so we're gonna leave that. Let's go to my other questions. Let's see here. Tips for middle splits and getting on pointe, we did that one. Ab workouts, I don't know good ab workouts. I did Pilates for a little bit, and I really liked it, but it was too expensive, so I can't do it anymore. That's really good. One of my favorites, and I will link it below as well, it's a really like random video that when I used to coach gymnastics, my coworkers found, and it was this gym that had their gymnasts doing an ab workout to Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. And it just, for whatever reason, that ab workout is insane. I kind of simplify it when I haven't done it in a while, But when I've noticed when I could get myself doing that video like multiple times a week, I could already tell a difference in my core strength just from doing that video a few times a week. And it's like, what, 4 minutes long for that song? Like if you can give 4 minutes every day to that song, which I know I'm saying that and I haven't done it either, but it's really good. So I will link that below as well so that you can go try that workout. I love it. Let's see what else. Would I like to share my testimony and how I came to Christ? So not ballet related, but these weren't all supposed to be ballet related. They just happen to have been so far. I would love to. I think I will film that in a separate video just because I'd like to give it the time to really talk about it, because that's something that I feel very passionately about, just as much as ballet, if not more. And I feel that, you know, God gave me this ability to dance and I want to use it. So I would love to share that story, but I am going to film a separate video on that so that I can really take the time to explain it and talk about it. And yeah. Let's see. What are your other favorite dance styles apart from ballet to watch or do? I love watching just about any type of dance except for like the modern flexed foot and weird grotesque. Yeah, you get the idea. I'm not gonna do that again. I don't like that, but really anything else I really love. I love like lyrical, contemporary, like I did take a class in that a few years ago with a bunch of younger girls. It was interesting because they could all move a lot more than I could, and I was like, I'm not even that old. But I think I'm actually built more like a modern, lyrical, contemporary dancer than a ballet dancer. I'm built with a more lower center of gravity. But those classes weren't really offered when I took ballet when I was younger, so I never did. I used to take jazz and I really liked it. Actually, in the beginning, that was my favorite. I took tap. I hated it. I was never good at it. I don't have the feet coordination. I think that's also why I'm really bad at Petit Allegro. But so tap is not my thing. Tap was my mom's favorite, not mine. I love ballroom dancing, but I've never gotten to do it because there just isn't really much of an opportunity for it. Irish dancing, I've always wanted to try that. I love watching Irish step dancing. I'm trying to think of what else. I know there's a lot of other styles. But I really like all types of dancing. Let's see what else. Tips for getting in pointe, feet exercises, middle splits, and core exercises. I think we've already covered all of those, so I won't cover those again. What do you wear for class as far as makeup? Generally, so kind of like what I'm doing right now. I usually am going straight from work to ballet, so I'll try and freshen up my makeup, but I don't like completely redo it for ballet. So usually I'm already wearing like a full face of makeup from work. Foundation, concealer, powder over to keep things kind of matte because I have really oily skin. Do my brows, eyeliner, eyeshadow, mascara, and then a colored like matte lipstick. Sometimes I'll put some blush on too. I don't always do eyeshadow though, it kind of just depends on the day. And then usually I make sure that day that I go to work I slick my hair back in the morning so it doesn't dry super curly and crazy so that it's already back for ballet. But yeah, I don't know that there's anything more specific to that. But I do like having my makeup done, especially because when my hair is like slicked back, like I just feel like that, like, because my hair is usually about like this and like a twisty French bun thing, and I just feel like that adds to it if my makeup is well done. I don't know. By the way, if you haven't noticed, this shirt is one of the awesome ones from Cloud and Victory. It's the Blood, Sweat, and Pirouettes shirt, and I love it. Actually, I love all their shirts. If I could buy them all, I would, because they're like the most comfortable shirts in the world. I'm probably gonna film a 50 Facts About Me video because I've always wanted to do that. So if there's any particular things you want to know about me that like not ballet related, because it's probably gonna mostly be non-ballet stuff, then let me know. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any other like tips for when people ask like about stretching, all these types of things, and you want like balancing tips, leave them below because I would love to know them too. Or if you have any more comments or questions for me, leave them below as well. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you will see all these videos pop up. Bye! Happy Friday! And better yet, it's Good Friday, so it's a Good Friday. Never mind.